No, just before that, tell them 30 days of silence.
Yes, yes, 30 days.
Think about it.
30 days of not only silence, but there's no phone, there's no television, no newspaper. Actually, when you are in that place, you talk to only your teacher. And with other inmates and who are also in meditation, normally you're not supposed to even make the eye contact. So that's we call it as Arya Mon, is the word we use.
What is the experience like? Aap kahe?
It's very interesting that over my 60-year plus existence, I came to realize that whenever we are dealing with anybody, actually you're dealing with yourself. And this self, you know very little about. And Vipassana gives you a chance to examine what this self is. And of course, since very few people even know how to begin to know oneself, it's not easy, so it makes some effort to start doing it. But those who are able to get to the level where you start understanding yourself, your mental makeup, your physical makeup, your intellectual makeup, you can imagine the power, the peace, the facility that one gets. And having experienced this, it is 10 days, 20 days, 30 days of... These rules are actually just sounding very daunting to those who have not come into it. But I think we take to it very, very easily. And we all long to go back for longer courses. So it's extremely liberating, enlightening.
It certainly sounds daunting to me. Because I can't think of a journalist who will keep silent for 15 seconds. Let alone 30 days. Why don't you send some of your journalists on this course?
Well, we have a rule in our group that anybody going for Vipassana is...
As part of his...
Yes. And a lot of people are...
Yeah. Might end up with silent news, half an hour.
Mahatma Gandhi, I'm sure you're aware, and if you're not, you should be. Every week on Mondays, he would observe complete silence. He would not talk to anyone. Even when he was negotiating with the British, negotiating with Lord Irwin, and if the talks they were continued on a Monday, he would answer through a written chit. In writing, he would not talk. And I remember, pardon this intrusion, but I remember when he first came to India after South Africa, and he was exploring and trying to find out what to do. And Gopal Krishna Gokhale told him that if you want to understand this country, keep quiet for 1 year. Keep your mouth shut for 1 year and keep your eyes open. Very good recipe for people in politics. But, you know, would you like to say something? Because I find this. Do you think of yourself as a Buddhist?
No, Buddha never taught any ism, actually. He simply said that being dharmic is real, being a real human being. And he was against any ism, actually. So I don't consider myself Buddhist or any this thing. So.
True, a valid point to be made that Buddha himself was not a Buddhist.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Would you like to ask us something, one, from Shubhash, and number two, your memories of the earliest days of Z, and, you know, how he went through that phase of his life?
So let me, my first memory of Subhash Chandra goes back to the early 80s, 83, 84, when SL packaging issue was launched and we mobilized a whole lot of money. I remember 40% of the IPO was procured by us. We were so excited about this new technology. And for years, nothing was happening in the company. And in 1989, there was the right issue and we decided to underwrite, and the rest is history. But...
no, but explain that history, because I don't think there's awareness.
Sure. So, SL Group was still very small group at that point of time. And
this was our first industrial venture, actually.
First industrial venture. And they had thought that they will get big boys like Hindustan Lever and Colgate as their customers. And they went back on it. They made good. They wanted the company to come up because they had the option that way, but they never started buying. And there were loans on the books. But when I noticed, in 87, 88, that somehow this company was keeping its loan payments going.
झी 24 तास रहा एक पाऊल पुढे.